Well, here goes nothing.
Now the pieces fall into place. The Grey Warden comes, the instrument of the Father. Oh, and the Father, he is but a shadow. Oh, how my children protect me. How they love me.
I have told you many times, Mother. I am not the Father. I am simply the Architect.
Oh, I thought I was the father.
It does not change what you are. You took away that beautiful music, left us with nothing.
It was a mistake to free you. It has left you with madness. I am truly sorry.
The Architect intends to free the Darkspawn, and I trust him.
But perhaps the Warden would like to hear how it was that the Father began the Blight. You want the source of the Archdemon? The one who brought all our kind to the surface? Here he is!
We should never have trusted any Darkspawn.
Ah, there it is then. Unfortunate.
There's an
I
Archdemon?
did find the old god, Athemiel. But I did not wish another blight. I attempted my joining ritual. My hope was that this would free all Darkspawn, unravel the curse from its source. Alas, I was unlucky.
Do you even think about the repercussions of your actions?
Is it not the way of the Grey Wardens to do what must be done? In the name of combating the Blight? The Blight is a menace, both for your people and for mine. To end it requires sacrifice and risk.
And how lonely the Father was. How terrible to be the outcast, the outsider. He claims he wishes the Darkspawn to be free, but what he truly wants is to correct them.
However you feel about what I have done, the Mother is mad. She cannot be allowed to...
Begone, Shadow! You cannot harm the Mother any more than you already have. And now the hero is alone. Oh, the Mother knows your ways. You will not let her be, no, not after what she's done. So it must end. It all must come crashing down! Perhaps we will hear the song again when we die. Oh, let it come. Let it come.
God.
Darkspawn is senseless. Men! The Paragons watch over me.
Let me get some... I guess she's technically a mage.
Ready and waiting.
And... where are your poisons? Oh, dang. She's already dead?
Having fun yet? Yes. Take that.
Okay, perhaps we should kill the,
As you command.
the tentacles first. Can I go this way? Can I run away from them? Nope, they come right back up on me. Cool.
Immediately. Can't go on.
Okay. This is one of those times where I hope they start me off at the fight, not... Yep, before that. Okay.
It was a mistake to free you. It has left you with madness. I am truly sorry. My hope was that this would free...
Darkspawn is
Okay. Everyone, attack this giant tentacle. Valana, I need you... What is wrong with you? Unable to cast spells, unable to regenerate mana. Jeez. Alright, so... Pop a health potion. Pop a health potion.
What needs killing?
I shall do it.
Alright. Pop a better health potion. She can't spellcast. Stop getting hurt.
Ready and waiting.
Why are you attacking her? Stop attacking her.
Right away.
Jeez. You just have no mana now.
Yes. Very well. It will be done.
How are these things doing? Toggle full party. Everyone attack that one.
My magic is at your command. As you command.
Time to die!
Where is Earthquake? Let's do it. Jeez.
Point me at as you wish. Manu will
Merciful!
I am armed.
ready.
Oh, this fight is going to be so annoying. This is downright stupid. This is a stupid fight. This is a super stupid fight.
Manu Venum.
And she cursed me again. Screw her.
What is my task?
So I can get my spider in. And then get you to drink a health potion, and you to drink another potent lyrium potion.
Come, let us end this.
I'll
As
get
you
on
say.
it.
If you insist.
Never a dull moment!
Very well.
Curse of Mortality.
Into the fray!
Hex. That thing. That thing.
Done.
You. Marker for dead. Ghost.
Very well. As you say. As you say. Watch out!
Ah, Drundar, what are you doing? You're still up here attacking.
Your
Very
wish
well.
is my command.
If you insist. Very well. Manu Venum. It will be done.
To battle! I am a knight of the Dalish!
Manu
Too
Venum.
slow!
If you insist.
This one's mine! Surrender!
Oh. Oh, sick. Actually shows her getting burned up in the inferno. This is cool. Go, Drundar. Oh. Just... Oh. Stabbed her in the chest and then through the mouth. Yeah. I don't blame you. That's gross. Wait, do I lose my dagger? Give me my dagger. I want my dagger, please.
This hurts.
After the death of the mother, the remaining Darkspawn forces scattered and fled back into the deep roads. The raids on Amaranthine came to an abrupt end. The architect apparently kept his word, gathering his remaining disciples to follow the rest of their kind back underground. Those Grey Wardens and other nations were appalled to hear that the architect's continued existence, but were unable to track him down despite years of effort. Some within the Order have claimed that the architect's survival guarantees another blight, and yet the deep roads have lately been quieter than any can recall. Most have resignedly decided that it is now in the Maker's hands. Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses at Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to her former glory within a year. Vigil's Keep in 5. Because of the Warden's support for law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smugglers' goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. The Darkspawn messenger, set free after joining the Wardens in the Battle of Amaranthine, struck out on his own. The city soon buzzed with stories of a cloaked but lisping figure who aided travelers in danger. At the same time, reports of isolated cases of Darkspawn disease emerged. No one connected the two. The Arling's peasants suffered greatly during the war, and suffered yet worse in the years that followed. Success at the first riot at Vigil's Keep emboldened them, and thus other uprisings followed, often put down with brutality. Although the war devastated many farms in the Arling, all agreed the loss would have been greater without soldiers for protection. The farmholders developed a certain reverence for the Warden commander, as well as an ongoing reliance on the Grey Warden for order and protection. Dirk, one of the pranksters behind the Blight Orphan scam, was fortunate enough to survive the Battle of Amaranthine. The unconditional generosity of the Blight Orphan's mysterious benefactor inspired him to establish a legitimate charity dedicated to children orphaned in the attack. His sweetheart, Melisse, eventually bore him 2 rascals. Vigil's Keep stood alone against a horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over, but the sturdy dwarven walls proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The Vigil soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen Darkspawn before they died. The Vigil held 1 night, then 2, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. The Vigil became a trading hub that would eventually eclipse the city of Amaranthine, with traders reassured by guards continually patrolling the pilgrim's path. But prosperity bred scheming and treachery between merchants and nobles, testing the commander's patience for years to come. Peace allowed the Wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon, Vigil's Keep bore a capable army with Wardens at its core. From their ranks emerged new heroes to challenge threats to Amaranthine and all of Ferelden. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Vuldrik Glavenok stood on the battlement to pronounce that the defenses were acceptable. He would never speak more highly of any human engineering. Dark whispers of conspiracy against the Wardens fell silent after a rash of accidents and disappearances culminated in the apparent suicide of Ban Azmarel. The nobles of Amaranthine remained dutiful. Some even suggest they were cowed into submission. Dworkin Glavenok further refined his lyrium, sand explosives, but left the Warden's employ after Canary mercenaries tried to assassinate him. Although the Dwarven bombardier took his secrets with him, the learned say he left clues for others to follow in his footsteps. The Vigil soldiers, wearing the distinctive silverite armor the Master Wade crafted, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory of the Vigil's famous commander. With Villana and the Architect gone from the region, the Pilgrim's Path began to see traffic again. The massacre of the militiamen and the merchants, however, led to hostilities between the neighboring human settlements and any Dalish clans that passed by. One human villager soon kidnapped and murdered a Dalish child. The clans reacted by giving the Winding Wood a wide berth, but both sides know that at some point the elves will return for revenge. A few years after Kal Hurol was emptied of Darkspawn, Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Taig. Eventually House Helmi decided that Kal Hurol was too important to be abandoned. As a tremendous cost of dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Kal Hurol of all Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and the fortress safe once again. Kal Hurol was reclaimed for Orzammar once and for all. In time, the Arling began to forget the tales of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly settlers drifted into the region. Scholars said the veil was still thin and thus area still dangerous, but the people only cared that there were no longer frightened whispers in the shadows. The village was slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant and another time by an Orlesian mage. Both died mysteriously. Afterwards, the mansion was torn down completely and the site left untouched. The survivors of the siege at Vigil's Keep hailed Anders and his magic for holding back hundreds of assaulting Darkspawn. In the ensuing victory celebration, the men dragged the mage to the fire to engage him in drinking contest, and Anders lost. Anders remained with the Grey Wardens a few years longer, training in the Order's next generation of mages. But when the Circle Tower called on him to deliver a lecture on the nature of the Architect, much to the Templars' dismay, Anders told the commander of the Grey Warden that his time with the Wardens was over. Now that Anders was no longer a warden, the Templars declared him apostate and began a search. The closest they came to finding him was a rumor that he joined a crew of a merchant ship with a certain female captain. Valana never saw her clan again, but neither did she forsake her Dalish culture, nor her sharp tongue, nor her quick temper. After several years in the Grey Wardens, Valana disappeared one day. Most surmise that she left for the deep roads to resume the search for her sister, but no one knows for sure. After spending a number of years with the Wardens, Nathaniel realized that life was not for him. He said goodbye to his sister, Delilah, and his new nephew, and then left to seek his fortune. In time, the nephew became a Grey Warden himself, in emulation of Nathaniel, then rose to Warden Commander. He brought honor to the Howl name once again. Justice fought valiantly at the battle for Vigil's Keep, but before the victory horn sounded, a Darkspawn sword removed Kristoff's head. It was, of course, unclear whether the spirit of justice perished or simply departed. At the least, Kristoff's wife, Aura, was finally able to claim her husband's ashes. With the mother dead, Sigrun seemed to lose her purpose. She withdrew from her friends in the Order and spoke to them less and less each day. One morning, Sigrun was simply absent, her bed made and her trunk emptied. A young recruit who had been up in the night said she had left for her calling, gone to finish what she had started in Kal Hurol. At Vigil's Keep, Ogren rallied a last-minute defense of the gate, taking on 2 ogres simultaneously to allow others to regain time in the courtyard. He eventually passed out from blood loss, and when he awoke weeks later, nobody was more surprised than he to discover he had been credited as a hero. Ogren continued to regale young Warden recruits with tales of his prowess in both battle and bed. His drinking games prompted at least one recruit to declare that she'd rather reattempt the joining than lift another mug. Felsi returned to Vigil's Keep several times to see Ogren, usually bringing their toddler as well. Ogren's inability to act seriously wore on her, however, and her visits dwindled, then stopped altogether. If Ogren missed her or his child, he never showed it. As for the savior of Ferelden, he did not remain as commander for the Grey for long. The Darkspawn were no longer a real concern, the blight well and truly over. It was time for him to move on. Some years later, the savior of Ferelden vanished entirely. Nobody knows for what purpose he departed, yet neither does anyone think his tale is complete. And that, my friends, I do believe ends Dragon Age Awakening. You know, I really enjoyed that. That last fight really gave me a run for my money, but we picked it up in the end. Faced me with tons of difficult and hard decisions, but I think I chose wisely in those that I decided to take with me and those I decided to leave in defense of Vigil's Keep. It appears that Vigil's Keep did withstand its own against the army. Our faith in our military, our stand, our fort, was well held. Our friends most certainly fought vigilantly, fought hard, fought valiantly. But who's to say what'll happen to the Architect or the rest of the Darkspawn? There still seem to be small blights here and there, and the Messenger clearly did not return to the Architect. He's decided to forge his own path. But what a valiant tale to be told and to be heralded through the rest of eternity. I can only imagine where they might come in Dragon Age 2 and even Dragon Age Inquisition. Perhaps that'll be a tale for another day. I know I've got 2 set up and waiting. But it might be a while. As I had mentioned before, college is definitely taking its toll on me. I'm going into my 2nd semester, and it'll be a busy one over the summer. So we'll see how well that goes. But all in all, this was fun. And it's really inspired me to perhaps pick up Dungeons & Dragons. Creating my own tales. Giving my own heroes their abilities, their choices. This might be some foreshadowing, my friends, but there's more yet to come. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like, you can continue following my channel. Just give it a little subscribe. Click down there, just down below. You can always follow me on Twitter. I generally post out anytime a new video goes live and anytime I live stream. I've been doing that a lot lately, and I really enjoy it. That's probably where any future stories might partake, such as Dungeons & Dragons, among others. But if you guys would like, follow me on there. I likewise post all the streams that I do here on Twitter or here on YouTube for you guys to catch up on and view at any time. Though they're definitely in larger chunks than the mere 20 to 30 minutes that you get with these videos. But all in all, shameless self-promotion over. I really appreciate everyone who has stuck around and watched. You guys are truly amazing. You give my hobby, my mere hobby here, a lot of purpose, and it makes it a lot of fun getting to kind of go through and enjoy these stories with you. So my friends, until next time on our grand adventure, I will see you all later. Take care.